Welcome to Cheesy Dan Reviews. As always, I'm Cheesy Dan. On this installment, we're focusing on Tony's Cheese Pizza. Tony's is a frozen cheese pizza that was started a long time ago in a place called Salina, Kansas by a guy named Tony and his brother-in-law who started a pizza restaurant. In 1970, they were bought out and converted into a frozen pizza only style, and now you can get them at your local grocery store. Tony's advertises itself as having 25% more pizza than Jack's original. So apparently, Tony and Jack, they got beef.
You mad, bro?
In any case, they say also that they are made with real cheese. Imagine that. None of that fake stuff for Tony, only the real stuff. Be honest, I'm not sure I've ever had fake cheese before.
I think fake cheese isn't real food, and I find it disgusting.
And they make it a point to point that out on the box a couple times. In fact, right back here on the back, use real mozzarella. So I guess they're throwing shade at somebody who they believe uses fake cheese. I'm not sure who it is yet. Maybe it's Jack.
Shots fired.
I don't know. We'll have to try Jack's and find out. But in any case, we're going to take this pizza, we're going to cook it up, cut it up, eat it up, and then we're going to go ahead and give it its Cheesy Dan score. So let's find out, is this cheese worth your dough? To determine if this cheese is worth your dough, we're going to judge it based on its appearance, its day one taste, its value. Take a slice and stick it in the fridge, come back on day 3 for the reheat. We'll take all 4 scores, add them together, divide them by 4, and then we'll know the cheesy score. All right, let's go ahead and get it out of its box and give it our first look. Peel back the cellophane here, and you get a look here at the pizza itself. Now, you got to keep in mind this is a very inexpensive frozen pizza. There is quite a bit of area in here where it's not, covered in cheese. There's even spots like in here and here where you can actually see down to the dough, which that is actually a first for me. I've not run into a circumstance where I could see the dough through the pizza sauce and through the cheese topping. But for $3.84, it is definitely a very inexpensive pizza, and I think I'll go ahead and address the value part of its scoring right now. So at $3.84, this one is very inexpensive, especially when you consider the size of this pizza. It is a pretty good sized pizza for that little amount of money. In fact, the only pizza I can think of that would even compare to this would be like the Totino's Party Pizza.
What's the matter, cat? Got your tongue?
And that one is about $1 less, but it is also smaller in size. So with that in mind, it is going to get a very high value quotient. It's going to be valued, I'm going to say right around a 9. As far as a frozen pizza, that's about as good as it's going to get. The average frozen pizza is probably about $5 to $8, so not too bad. Now, how will that reflect in the taste? Buyer beware, maybe? I don't know. I would say that we're going to have to find that out. Now that we've got a chance to cook it, I'll say the cheese does look pretty good. You can definitely still see those areas that was completely missed by the pizza sauce and by the cheese.
That's unfortunate.
But let's put it here up on the pizza stone, and let's go ahead and give it its first day appearance score. It's not amazing. As I've mentioned, they did miss quite a few places. Cheese coverage is definitely leaving something to be desired. I'm going to say day 1 appearance, it's not bad, but I'm going to put this one at a 3. It's not really something that looks any kind of amazing. It definitely looks the price it is. But let's go ahead and cut it up and get our first slice. Now, which slice should I pick? Cameraman says pick that one. No, not that one.
I'm the captain now.
I want this one. So we're gonna pick this slice and let it get a chance to cool off and give it its day 1 taste. Now that it's had a chance to cool off, let's take a better look at it. You can see the bottom here, it looks like it's actually kind of a, I don't know if you can hear that.
Very firm indeed.
Kind of a hard bottom to it, a little crispy. The cheese itself, not a bad look, like I said, just not a lot of cheese coverage, but let's give it its first taste. So it's definitely crispy on the bottom. The cheese, it tastes like mozzarella cheese, no big surprise there. The pizza sauce itself, it's not too bad. It doesn't have a sweet or really a bitter. It's kind of a little bit neutral. Probably the strongest flavor profile in it is the sauce. It's not a bad taste. It's just probably the most pronounced part of the pizza itself. I would say for a pizza for $3.84 that you're just getting for the purpose of cheap way to fill you up, it's not bad. I would say for a day one taste, I'm going to put this one at a 5. It's definitely nothing to write home about. Not bad. Nothing that you're going to get excited to eat. But if you need a cheap meal, this one's definitely going to satisfy you. So day one, we'll put this one at a 5 for a day one taste. The only thing left, let's stick it in a pizza or in a frozen bag to put it in the fridge. And let's come back on day 3 and see what it tastes like.
3 days later.
And we're back for day 3 of the Tony's Cheese Pizza. Let's take a look at it. Just got it out of the fridge. A little spongy feeling, but that's not exactly abnormal.
Because you're a sponge.
Overall, still smells good, still looks decent. I guess it's time to heat it up. Now that it's hot, let's give it its day 3 taste test. When I started day 1 with the Tony's Cheese Pizza, I really didn't have high hopes for it. I started off with an appearance score of 3. It surprised me a little bit and ended up being pretty decent. And I ended up giving it a day 1 taste test of a 5. Well, let's see what day 3 is going to be like. So, day 3, not too bad. The pizza itself is still kind of crispy and crunchy like it was on day 1, especially since I reheated it in the air fry oven. The cheese and the sauce, they're showing a little bit of their age. Overall, still not bad. Don't be afraid to reheat this one and come back on day 3 and eat it. I will say, as far as the score, it has lost a little bit of its taste. It's gotten a little bit more bland than it was on day 1. So I'm going to give this one a day 3 taste score of a 4. So with a kind of weak start with a 3 on appearance, but then doing much better on its value and on its day 1 taste, and now a day 3 taste, of a 4, that finishes with a cheesy score of 5.25. Now, if that number sounds familiar, it's because we are now in a 3-way tie for 14th place. You've got Tony's, you've got Home Run Inn, and you've got Old Chicago all holding 14th place at 5.25. I'm actually going to put this one at the top of 14th because I do feel like, especially for the value and the taste, it's the best of those 3. So it is holding the top of the 14th spot. But we have a tie, and I guess it's inevitable once you've tasted enough of these, and they all got there in very different ways. So Tony's, overall, I would give this one a recommend. I would say it's worth a try, and especially for the price, you can't beat it. So if you're like me and you're a value-conscious shopper, but you just don't want something that you're going to regret eating, hey, give Tony's a try. But I appreciate you watching up to this point, and if you have, then I'd ask you to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me about a pizza maybe you haven't seen me try yet that you'd like to see me try, and I'll try to see if I can't locate it and give it a shot. But until we eat again, stay cheesy.